Hello, and welcome to the second episode of TViva. This is a program for finding out about all the great things that are going on in Fall River. My name, again, is Patti Rigo. I am the director of Viva Fall River, which is an organization that draws on the city's unique and diverse assets to make Fall River the premier South Coast destination that it deserves to be. It's also our goal to make sure that we get the word out about the positive things happening in our city, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Once again, my guest is Ashley Occhino, Executive Director of the Fall River Arts and Culture Coalition. Hi,
Thank
Ashley.
you for having me again. I'm thrilled to be back.
Didn't scare you away the last time, so that's great. Wonderful. So I figured instead of just launching into the events that are happening in June, because there's quite a few things going on, just to do a quick recap of a really busy weekend that I think that we both finally have recovered from, because that was like 4 days of just, it was awesome. I mean, I'm not complaining about the 4 days of jam-packed activities, arts and culture activities specifically in Fall River. And what I'm talking about is specifically to start the FRACC Arts Festival, which you came to quite a few of the events. I had the pleasure of being a part of the production team, but one thing in particular that I wanted to just start off with talking about was the thing that we collaborated on, which was the Creative Neighborhoods Workshop, which took place on Saturday morning at the at City Hall. And it was great that we ended up getting an audience, which I was really surprised about.
Yes, the turnout was fantastic from the community.
And so just to kind of explain what that was, we had a Creative Neighborhoods Workshop where we invited community leaders, neighborhood group leaders, arts and culture organizations, nonprofits, creatives, to get together and talk about the areas of certain neighborhoods. We had certain neighborhoods put aside. I think it was Lower Highlands, the Flint, Father Kelly Chew Park, the Globe area, and also, Corky Road downtown, of course. And we were talking about green spaces and how people meet and how to reimagine these gathering spaces and what resources or what role future editions of FRACC and artists could play in revitalizing the neighborhood.
Yeah, or just activating it in a different way. I thought that was just a really helpful exercise for someone who's a little bit newer to this fabulous city. And, you know, I really appreciate for those that weren't there, we had these wonderful area maps of the different parks that you talked about. And it was great to kind of view it from that bird's eye view and think about spaces a little differently, and how, like the spaces that I was looking at, how these two different parks could really read as one and connect together, and how there's a community board there, and how that community board could be, maybe have a little bit of a facelift to be useful and updated with information for the city. So I think my group, at least, we walked away with some great conversation and ideas for the future that not only could FRACC help with, but also maybe the city too, as a partner with FRACC moving forward.
I think even neighborhood, I think what the whole point was, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, is to really just show people to take a deeper look at their neighborhood and share that information with others. Like none of the neighborhoods that were there that we were speaking about that day are ones that I'm like 100% familiar with. But in my group, even though we weren't talking about creative, we were talking about the issues that affect the neighborhood, and I learned a lot. And I really look forward to continuing this conversation, and we'll talk more about it in future editions, but we have the summer evenings in the park coming up with the Narrows and the city and Viva Fall River and FRACC. They're going to be at 8 different parks this year. Last year it was 4 different parks, 2 times in each. And basically they're set in different parks in different neighborhoods in the city, and I think this will be a great opportunity to kind of replicate that, but ask citizens. I'm going to bring the aerial maps out because I thought that was really effective. Thank you for mentioning that. And have people tell us what they think about their neighborhood. And this is all like, you know, just a way of us gathering information that'll help us better inform the things that we do. We're not just going to make up programs not knowing what the residents feel about their own neighborhoods. So that's something that will live on after FRACC, as will the Living Wall.
Oh yeah.
Which is under the tunnel under Interstate 195 on the Rodman Street entrance to the park. And over 20 artists transformed that space underneath, which was just, you know, tagging, just regular random tags, into just beautiful artworks. I mean, I think over 20 artists transformed that space. And I mean, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, and so for the park, for those that don't know what the park is, so if you've not been along the Quequechan River Rail Trail, why not? Why have you not been there yet?
Why not?
It is just like a beautiful oasis right
is,
there
it is.
inside the city. And so to see that space has really been, I would say, really well curated.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that we talked about it a little bit in the first edition of TViva, but I was so thrilled to come through there and to just see the space alive with so many folks from around the region, not just from Fall River, just there getting down, celebrating, dancing,
Yep.
and just, you know, gosh, supporting artists in the city.
Oh, definitely. I think having the artists that were still completing their works and people seeing that, like, I think a lot of the joy is in the process.
Yeah.
Of having, you know, being able to see like these things happening right in front of you and realizing that real people are behind these initiatives. Like we put a lot of our heart and soul into these things, and so between that wall and then the sculptures, which even being involved in the event, I had no idea what these things were going to look like, and I'm blown away by how beautiful they are. They're Lisbon-based artist Maria Ana Vasco Costa developed a group of green sculptures, and they are glazed ceramic tiles, and they're gorgeous.
Yes.
Produced in Portugal, they were shipped here, and they are meant to evoke bodies and structures of water and function as small benches and tables for communal use. Right off the bat, I know I was sitting on them, children were playing. It was like functional art, but in the highest, most incredible way, and it was a really awesome day.
And shout out to Smokestack Studios, who
Yes.
assembled those here in Fall River as the tiles were shipped. So
And it is a collaborative that they didn't design them, but they helped to make it a reality, and that's what we do. And then and also, thank you for the segue on Smokestack Studios, but craftsman and artist, really, Tyler Inman created the table is called Falling River, and it's a serpentine community picnic table that was at the Quikasham River Rail Trail, but is now, its permanent home is right outside where our office is, which is the Fall River Chamber of Commerce Building 1 South Coast Chamber Building on Pecasset Street. You can't miss it, I'll tell you that. You go down Pecasset Street, you cannot miss it. But it looks like it's always been there.
it does.
And I hope that this summer, I mean, I've already gotten reports that we have a serial sunbather out there. I came again yesterday, which I'm fine with. I just love that people are going to use it. And
Yep.
I want to see people come and eat there. And well, speaking of which, we're going to have, something coming up.
Yeah, we have some events planned to activate that
Yeah, let's
space.
jump to that. Let's
You
jump to
wanna-
that. We can jump around. That's, because there's a lot going on.
Jump
It's really
around.
exciting. But so that area is going to hopefully receive quite the facelift with potential new mural.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell everybody about Viva Murals, which is really important. I'm going to preface this by saying this effort's only going to take place if we can get the support of the community.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so Viva Murals.
Viva.
I love throwing the exclamation point at the end. So Viva Murals is a project ship. Gosh, it's a partnership and a project.
And a project ship.
It's one word now. Between Viva Fall River, FRACC, and also the public art, I would say, mural kind of experts that have been operating out of Lynn, Massachusetts for a few years, and they're called Beyond Walls. And Viva Fall River answered their call for the street art activation for 2022, and so Fall River was selected along with 4 other cities across Massachusetts. So that's pretty cool to have that honor.
This is the furthest south, I think. That
They've never
been.
come down to the South Coast before, so this is something that is talk about growing and expanding on our art scene here, with all the public art that's coming out in town. And so it's also about this kind of geographical, beautification and facelift, but also activation of community. And so, as you mentioned, Patti, we do have a crowdfunding campaign. Let's just go right to it. So
Yes,
we have
we
a
do.
crowdful campaign that is out
back
and
here, but I
available.
will
And so
also
we'll
hold
drop
it up.
we'll
You'll
drop the
see
link
these around town. So just a visual cue that these are very good works of art in and of themselves. But yes, we're crowdfunding, and we hope to raise $30,000 by the end of June.
We do.
And the reason that amount specifically is because we Ashley put in for a grant that if we reach that $30,000, we're going to have it matched, which is really important. I mean, if you can double any amount, but $30,000 is going to be amazing.
It's very impactful. It will make a real change here in the city. And so really any amount counts. You know, $1 becomes $2. And so what we can do with this money is not only create beautiful murals within the city, is also create opportunities for engagement and for us to come together. And so talking about the beautiful bench that's installed over at the Chamber building, we have some fun free food truck. We're going to call it View and Chew.
View and Chew, because you're going to view the murals being created and chew on some amazing local food truck food.
Yeah, so
I'm always about a good name.
We have that planned for the end of the 2 last Fridays in July coming up. And so, you know, beyond the View and Chew, we also have a really great opportunity for the students at Doran Elementary School to do a virtual exchange with students in Haiti. And this virtual exchange is kind of like it's a pen pal collaborative art creation.
It's a great
exchange ideas.
Yeah.
It's this really great opportunity that Beyond Walls has done before in the past with Project One Blue Sky, as documented by Apt Art, and they, I mean, you can see online, and maybe we can drop the link within this video, where you can see a recent exchange that happened between students in Lynn and students in Mozambique, and how that kind of exchange would be a real unique opportunity for students here in Fall River to have. And so we would like to see that happen, and we want to facilitate it, but we need your help. So, you know, do please consider, you know, giving whatever you can. Every dollar really does help us get closer to this goal.
We're going to be doing engagement opportunities as well, and bringing in the public in at the Fall River Farmers and Artisans Market as well, which we're going to mention in this episode of TViva as well. But I mean, I think, you know, one part of this project is getting world-class art up on our walls, and which is optically from the outside will get more eyes on Fall River and will bring people in. So that's a good thing.
And more funding and opportunities in the future.
Well, yes, we hope. I mean, every little bit kind of raises the profile of the city. I mean, all these fabric artworks. I mean, it is not out of question that we can make Fall River be a destination for people who view unique art, really well-made, well-crafted things. I mean, we already have a manufacturing history and a very rich manufacturing present as well. Yeah. So I think all of these things add up. But what I'm most excited about this project, and this is why I really want people to donate, is that you can have a part in this. Like this I know I donated, and I'm going to say I helped put that mural up.
Yep,
because that's what it takes. It doesn't.
Yeah.
These projects have to be a collaborative effort and collaboration with the community as well. I also love that local artists, we are developing an opportunity where local artists can have, hopefully have a piece of artwork that they can collaborate on together. And while also seeing these, like, they're pretty massive. I mean, they're 2 or 3 story building. You know, these are very large scale, and not to say that there are definitely people in this region who have done work of that scale, but this is a unique opportunity to learn more about the mural making process so that we can do more on a local level, a smaller level, with small businesses. So I, for one, always look at these types of things as a learning opportunity for the community.
And if you need incentive to maybe donate, coming up in the next few weeks, do look for our social media pages, which again, drop those in there, please.
I will, yeah.
And so if you do donate at certain amounts, we'll have some special kind of thank you gifts that we'll be giving away, including our really awesome What is the FRACC t-shirts, which you can see on the table here. So again, every dollar counts, and we really do appreciate it.
Really, like literally every dollar. I mean, and I know for one, I have, on Facebook when you're scrolling, you see, you want to like foster people's passions. I've given $5 to something, so don't think that $5 doesn't matter, because it absolutely does. And even if we don't, I'm going to go like this, even if we don't hit the 30,000, the money is still going to be used. It's not like it's wasted. I mean, no part of this will be wasted. I mean, so for me, I just hope it, I have the best of intentions, and I know we're going to make it work.
Oh, it will be amazing. And so, besides the View and Choose, and besides the opportunity for the virtual cultural exchange with students across the globe, we also have some hands-on activities available for the community at the FR fam.
Talking about makers, talking about this maker community,
supporting
and this artisan community.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Fall River Farmers and Artisans Market was something that started out of last year's We Heart Fall River event, the first one. Yeah. And at that time, we called it the Makers Market. And I remember market manager Stephanie Enlow, who's also the owner of Craftiest Shop, she came to me after and said, all these people, all the artisans, the people who got the booths, they want to know when we're going to do this again. I mean, we thought it was going to be a one-off. And so last year we decided to do a very abbreviated season. And we weren't pulling in like crazy numbers like the South Coast Open Air Market or some of the more established markets. But what we did achieve was like a community, like a family. We call it the FR fam, the family, where small business owners and entrepreneurs were working together and having that like support system, which I think is really crucial when you're, some people like left their jobs during the pandemic to follow their passion of making.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know, locally made goods sometimes are more expensive, but you're not investing, you can go to Walmart and get something, but you're not helping somebody, you're not putting the money investing back into your community, and you're not helping somebody with like their dream and their passion, which, I mean, we all have those, and we all want to be supported. So, I mean, it is a little, I am talking a little kumbaya right now, but I really do, I love spending my Sundays there. So every other Sunday, this year we have a full season, 13 events. We opened last week at the We Heart Fall River Festival to amazing attendance. You
have so many people there.
Yes, the vendors are, and the most vendors this season that we've ever had. Even our lowest booking right now is more than our highest one last year, if that makes sense.
That's fantastic.
So, I mean, people are really coming out. So, actually, we have one on June 12th and June 26th. So, it's every other Sunday. I should also say the location is one of my other great joys is bringing more prominence to Old 2nd Street, which so many people are like, where is Old 2nd Street? It is the cobblestoned pedestrian walkway behind the Academy building that also runs adjacent to, for a landmark 19 Prime, which is on Sullivan Drive. I've been using 25 Jeremiah Sullivan Drive as a GPS point. Because this year, nobody is going to tell me they can't find it. I want you to find it. And we have live musicians. We always hire 2 local live musicians, so they do 2 sets. We always have Tony Medeiros Entertainment, who is an amazing, amazing community member who he spends everyone with us. He puts us aside, even though he could probably be making more money doing private parties, but he really believes in the community. He dresses up in a character costume, which the kids always think is amazing. We always have free activities for the kids from River Rocks, who is another amazing community partner. And we also have food trucks this year, which is incredible.
Love food trucks.
So yes, so each one is 11 to 3 every other Sunday. Again, the dates coming up since this will be airing in June is June 12th, June 26th, and then after that, we've got our dates in July, which are the ones we're talking about that are going to have specific activities, free workshops or free activities that will tie into this mural project.
Yeah, Viva Murals.
Viva Murals, exactly. And so we also have a lot of local artisans there, family fun. I think that it's been important to have this market as an outlet for small businesses, for people to kind of test out whether or not maybe they're ready to move into some of our vacant spaces downtown or in the Flint. It's kind of a way for people to gather their audience and gather their customer base. And so I think it's really, I think it's a really good place. And we also make sure that we curate it so that there's not too many of any one thing. I mean, we really try to make it be like a collaborative.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it when I started at We Heart Fall River.
Yes,
I was so like, wow, oh my gosh, like you use all of Old 2nd Street, like it is just packed.
Oh no, and I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I think we'd like to even add. We end the whole season off on Saturday, November 13th. Mark your calendar, November 2nd, November 12th. Jeez Louise.
What date is it?
Saturday, November 12th, from 4 to 8 p.m. Is going to be Thanksmas.
Great, it's back.
Yes, it's going to be back again this year, hopefully minus the tornado scare that shut us down last year. But it'll culminate in a holiday market, and that's the one where we bring in kind of that We Heart Fall River vibe, where we have local performances. Maybe we can get a band again, which was incredible to see people dancing in the streets.
So fun.
Like that song, Lionel Richie song, for all those who are my age. But I think having it start and end with a community celebration, and the family in between. I mean, it's a metaphor, but it's one that we embody with the market every time we have it. So I definitely invite people to come and spend your Sundays with us. I'm always amazed at the products. I'm a shopper, and I feel like I've seen it all, and every time I go through, there's always something that I'm like, no way. You know, oh my God, I have to have that. So most of the time, I spend a lot of my money there. So probably not the best thing for my pocketbook, but really good for the artisans
And great
and
gifts
the
for
vendors.
people too, right?
Oh, Father's Day is coming up.
Great plug.
Yeah, that's right. Got to make sure we get. I mean, fathers. We definitely have some, you know, male based. But I mean, dads like everything. Dads like all things. We have florists, and so absolutely we have. So you can find out information on VivaFallRiver.com, but you can also go to Fall River Fam, FAM, FallRiverFam.com, and there's a whole website with the market dates. If you're a vendor, if you're somebody who's a maker and you want to test it out, it's only $35 for a spot, which is one of the lowest rates in the area. And come and just test it out, and you can fill out an application on FallRiverFam.com. So it's a pretty easy process, and you know, I think there are a lot of other events in June that we could go on and on and on, but we're kind of running down to the end of our show.
Always check out VivaFallRiver.com. I mean, it's the #1 place in the city to find out everything that's happening.
We really try, and you know, I think we're starting to get more community submissions, which I mean, that's going to make this calendar really effective, where people can, if you have people coming in from out of town, or even if you're like, what do we want to do on a Friday night? I mean, the more community submissions that we can get from, I just put out a call online. I want to know when all the FASHTAs are this year. Yep. Because I can't possibly know everything. Though I would like to think I try to, but I want to know when all the FASHTAs are. I want to know when your schools are having events. I mean, these are all things that are important for the community to know. And then, of course, we have these larger events. But the calendar is not just for large events. It's for the community. It's a community calendar. So if you go to vivafallriver.com/events, you will find a really easy link. And there's also a video in case you need a little help. But you can also contact us through the website. And I also encourage people to sign up for the Viva Arts and Culture newsletter. You can do that right on the homepage.
Yes, please do. I send out a monthly newsletter that really has a lot of information in it. Everything from arts news, from job opportunities, grant opportunities, and also one of the things that's really important for FRACC is advocacy work and sharing of data and information. So yes, please, please sign up. Yeah.
I think that's going to be really important in the future. I mean, we have there's a lot of talk about ARPA funding, and which is American Rescue Plan Act, for those of you who don't swim in this pond all the time. There's a lot of money out there, but that's not going to be around forever. So we have to use that in a really thoughtful way to position ourselves to have these things like more murals and community events that show a track record and have that data, so we can get more money in the future.
Which all of those things just put money in the pockets of creative people.
And
you know,
it really is just the swirl.
Love it.
And I think I definitely want to tell people to go make sure you look at the Viva Fall River social media around 4th of July. I know the city has a big 4th of July celebration planned. We won't have another episode aired before then, so I want to make sure I mention it now. I know Heritage Park is going to be on fire, hopefully in a good way, like hot and cool, like, you know.
It's lit.
Yeah, in a good way, like hot, like. But also there's the first Fall River Food Truck Festival from PVD Food Trucks.
Yes.
June 2nd at the gates. So that's like coming up like now. Yeah. I'm super excited about that, and I think, you know, there's 2 more after that. I want to say July, and then I don't know the July date, but then I
want to say July and beginning of September.
The first, like one of the first Thursdays in September. So yeah. A lot of things going on. So definitely make sure that you see us on. What is it? Facebook, Instagram. I think we're on YouTube.
You're on TikTok.
TikTok. Oh, don't remind me. Although, so if you haven't seen our meat pie tour as well, I will say if you see me around town eating ice cream or frozen treats, that's going to be the next food tour that we're going to do. So get ready for more of me eating food on social media. Yeah. If that's not something to look forward to, I don't know what is. Well, thank you, Ashley, again for being my guest. I kind of really like having you here.
I love being here. I mean, being able to sit here and just talk about all the positive things that are happening in the city.
We work hard. We do a lot of things, and so do a lot of other people. And we could not do this without, the help of all of the organizations we work with. I mean, just Viva Murals is also in conjunction with Fall River Public Schools, specifically the Fine Arts and Performing Arts Department.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it without them. Working with the mayor's office, working with Elena Pavid in the mayor's office on We Heart Fall River specifically, but basically everything. I mean,
superhero there.
Well, without having those people, I mean, you know, I think a lot of the times it's easy for people to say, why don't we do this or we need this? But there's a process to things, and we're, you know, nothing is impossible, but we got to like take it step by step and not play a blame game, and just instead of asking why not, say like what role can I play in this?
Yes. So we invite you to basically actively participate and to just harp back to Viva Murals. $1 becomes $2 when you donate, and it really will have a wonderful impact on the city this summer through engagement, but a lasting impact as well.
Yep, and then also FRACC meeting, next one
Oh,
is...
FRACC meeting. We are meeting at Heritage State Park.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Going
on June 13th at 5 o'clock, so please stop by. We hope to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks again.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be back the next time, who knows? And thank you for staying with us this half hour and talking about all things Fall River, all things wonderful, and Viva Fall River.